Peace and blessings. It's Monday, April the 1st, the year 2019. This is no April Fool's joke. My wife sent me a Facebook post from Norm Olson. I have not read it yet, so I thought I would just turn the audio recording on and read it. It appears to be very good because it was shared over 250 times, maybe more. And I should also say that Schaefer Cox. Let me turn my computer volume off. Schaefer Cox was a protege of Norm Olson. And we also have Charles Dyer's mother has communicated with Norm Olson, plus Norm Olson testified before Congress regarding the militia. And then we also have the book, Why the Militia by Red Beckman. And I'm starting to think that the militia is a very important part of the checks and balances on this tyrannical government. So with no further ado, let's read the post put out by Norm Olson, who is a well-recognized militia leader as well as a Baptist minister. He put it out on March the 7th of 2019. Something to think about. For 25 years, we've waited and prepared for what's coming our way. The conscience of America was ignited in the early 90s when our countrymen stood up to their central government in defiance to the ruthless power exhibited at Ruby Ridge and later at Waco. For many years, the militia stretched and grew, seldom thanked, constantly suspected, frequently ignored, and continually cursed and derided by media of all kinds. It just could not find its place. From 1994 until now, the militia struggled and still struggles to find its legitimate place in the scheme of modern American history. Not since Lexington and Concord has the Second Amendment militia risen to a struggle to preserve the God-given rights of Americans as tasked to the militia in the very words of the Second Amendment. In short, not until now has the militia been really needed. The purpose of the Second Amendment will become crystal clear in the days to come when patriots must stand unbowed before the tyrant. But to the patriots today, the tyrant is viewed in its classical sense. In the classical sense, we relive scenes of colonists standing before the British Crown Army. What is coming will be nothing like that. There is something coming that will not come from Congress, but something that Congress will not halt. That being the rise of socialism and the extreme left agenda being furthered, not by the central government, but rather by a growing number of small, insignificant players who represent and speak for the, quote, oppressed. One minority female in the House of Representatives is fueling the flames of hatred at the local cobblestone level. And there, among the unthinking masses, lurk provocateurs, dissipators, and instigators that are able to command an army best described as anti-American, standing against its enduring culture and history. True, all cultures change over time, and America is no different. But forces are amassing that want to change everything dramatically in a very short period of time. The push is already creating friction where culture clashes occur. Islamic substates are emerging within our basic 50, demanding to be independent of the infidels' laws. Debating is futile. What is we see the threat, but not objectively enough. Not until now has the real purpose of the militia become crystal clear. The threat against America is being unleashed on several fronts at this very time. Every foundation that holds America together is being ravished by the waves of social democrats, globalists, and evil cabals and factions moving behind the veil of Washington politics and seeping inevitably into the fabric of our land. Morally and spiritually, we are being cut free from the moorings of our culture, traditions, laws, and common history. We are adrift on the sea of multiculturalism, situational ethics, transgenderism, humanism, ecumenism, and every prevailing wind of social disintegration. Even the Pope is gladly sharing his pulpit with a pagan god. The battle we face will be both spiritual and carnal. We are fighting for the life of our children and theirs to have a chance to live free. Enter Donald Trump. Remember this. Donald Trump is not a savior, although to many he seems to be. Rather, Donald Trump is a vehicle. Let the thought Let that thought create a paradigm for you right now. The vehicle doesn't do the work. The vehicle carries the workers to the job site. That is its sole purpose. For more than 25 years, the militia across America has been preparing, ever knowing exactly what for. Never knowing exactly what for. In 2016, with the cheers of the people, a goal was set, and so Make America Great Again became the logical standard to be carried. The goal was set, but in a very uncharacteristic manner. No plan was made to keep the hill once we take it. In short, America embarked on a one-way mission to greatness, but without a plan to maintain the greatness or even define what it really is and how we will know when we've reached it. Well, we set to the task, and now we're a few years into it, but while America is being made great again, we fail to see the real danger. But not all are ignorant. The voices of patriots began crying out loudly 3 decades ago. The militia saw the danger then and rallied. It grew to become a recognized part of America. Soon it will become required part of America. What was needed and provided, perhaps providentially, was the vehicle to carry the millions of patriots and ready militia to the battlements and beachheads. Please do not infer here that the militia cares about the political sausage being made in Washington. It does not. Soldiers have no time to dabble in partisan politics. They must remain the watchers on the walls and must respond to any threat at any time without politics. It should be spread abroad that millions of patriots are ready to rise up against the forces that will ignite the cities, driving the chaos and panic far into our native land and leaving wounds that may be fatal. The true purpose of the Second Amendment will be seen in preserving the free state. The founders recognized the free state as the independent, autonomous, self-governing nation-state that formed the Union. The Second Amendment is clear, and it shows that it is the duty of every American to preserve a free state. I recognize that these are side issues, but do affect how we apply the Second Amendment. Simply said, I don't want to live in an Islamic socialist state, period. America faces the rise of socialism and the anarchy that moves with the discordant masses, all aiming at our republic. War is coming. Let me read that part again. Norm Olson wrote the sentence, war is coming. The militia must keep the Constitution and the restoration of the Republic clearly in view when the winds of change begin to blow. For the winds will be strong, and the fog of war will throw many patriots off course and into the rocks of compromise. For this reason, we must be founded and grounded in the purpose for which we stand. We must not regard the Second Amendment as simply our right to embrace our firearms. To think such a thing is to cheapen this thing called freedom, turning principles of liberty into some base carnal affection for guns. In truth and in deed, the guns merely represent the potential credible strength of a vast army that will not allow this country and its culture to be recklessly cast away, abandoned, and lost. We will soon find out whether the Second Amendment militia will be used as intended by the founders. So far, it has not been necessary to exercise the Second Amendment option. But so far, only goes so far. It won't be the tyranny of the central government over the people that we are facing. It will be the tyranny of masses of rebelling humans no longer bound by any law but their own. It is a condition or state of being called anomia, meaning a state or condition of individuals or society characterized by a breakdown or absence of social norms and values, as in the case of uprooted people. Simply, we are being invaded by anomic people who have been uprooted from their cultures, but unwilling to adapt or abide peacefully to ours. Herein is the basis for conflict in America. If we do not stand together, we will be uprooted, left to die in what was once a great experiment of liberty called America. The modern militia movement is about 25 years old now. Great age for soldiers generally. I'd like to think we are ready to pose a credible force upon the plain to keep America, as imperfect as she is, just as she is, and to restore liberty and justice throughout the land. Please share. That's Norm Olson. He is a well-recognized militia leader in America. Schaefer Cox was his protege, and I believe Charles Dyer's mother has communicated with Norm Olson, and I'm not sure about Charles Dyer himself. But as I began to study and realize the checks and balances that our founders gave us to put on government, one of them is jury nullification. fully informed jury association. The other one was the different branches of government that are supposed to keep each branch in check. And another one is the militia. It's a very important part of the American checks and balances, and that's why they've tried to demonize it so much. But we must bring it back, and we must bring it back strong. And if Norm Olson is willing to offer his leadership and wisdom to the American people in the area of militia, then I say we need to support him, and we need to lift him up, and we need to pray for him. Thank you for your time.